Disclaimer. Liebe Afternoon Tea Podcast-HörerInnen, für diese Podcast-Folge zum Thema Arbeitsbedingungen haben wir ein Gespräch zwischen einer Gruppe junger Menschen aus Deutschland und zwei jungen Frauen aus Indien aufgezeichnet. Da wir uns auf Englisch unterhalten haben, haben wir als Redaktionsteam uns entschieden, die Folge auch in der Originalsprache zu veröffentlichen. Auf unserer Website findet ihr aber das Transkript der Folge in deutscher Fassung. Viel Spaß beim Hören.
Can money bring happiness? If you are earning enough money for your basic needs, then that would be enough. But I don't know whether is that the purpose of life, or I think that is something to think upon.
We cannot run and think, oh, there's tasks to be done, while forgetting about that this speed, this dynamic we have in the working market is not taking all people with us. It's just so unfair.
Like I hate myself if I'm not productive. I don't enjoy my life. I think like I'm here, I'm alive, I'm here to do something.
I'm actually enjoying this working part of my life.
Tea is ready.
Hello and welcome to the Afternoon Tea Podcast, the podcast of the Adivasi Tea Project. In this episode, we explore life plans and working conditions and how traditional ways of living intersect now with modern forms of employment. Our conversation brings together young people from India and Germany. Among them are Maya, who works for an NGO in Bangalore, and Amrita, an architect and designer at the Real Elephant Collective in a small village near Gudlur, and several young people from Germany who reflect on their own work, biographies, and expectations. Together, we offer a glimpse into shifting worlds of work, belonging, and identity. Firstly, all of us will introduce ourselves.
So my name is Maya. Right now I am living in Bangalore, working with an NGO called WaterAid. It's been like 2 years with WaterAid, and before that I was working with the state government on a livelihood program. I did my undergraduation and post-graduation both from Asim Premji University. It is also based out in Bangalore. So I did my undergraduation biology and post-graduation in development. And yes, I'm from Gudalur. I belong to the Mullakurumba community.
My name is Jakob. I've been engaged for the ATP since 4 years since the first Adivasi visited our house, but really engaged since I traveled to India in 2017. I am now currently doing an LLM in human rights and humanitarian law.
My name is Lisa and I'm with the ATP since 2 years now. This is my job, working for ATP. I did my master's cultural anthropology, and then I had to find a job because I wanted to earn money, and I wanted to find a job that good to combine with my life because I had a child who was 5-year-old by that time. And I found ATP. It's a good work, and I have been working since I'm 15 years old, always earning money for myself as side jobs or mini jobs called in Germany. Because when I was a student in school, I was in a ice shop selling ice cream, helped out in the afternoons or on weekends, just to earn a little money for myself, you know. I also did babysitting. During my bachelor's and master's, I was working at gastronomy, like in a bar or in a restaurant, serving drinks and food. So I always kind of had the idea of working next to studying or doing other things.
I'm Amrita. I'm working at the Real Elephant Collective at Torpalli. So it's been 3.5 years I have been working there. So there I design now I do design work. So basically I am an architect. And then initially when I joined there, my role was to design part of the building work, to coordinate design and all. And now the building is up. I'm now designing the elephants, bison, gaur, and other animals, and also like furniture designs, lampshades, and I'm living in Gudlur only.
I'm Jana, volunteered at Vidyodaya and Ashwini in 2013 to 14 in Gudlur. I was like an assistant English teacher at Vidyodaya there, also for your little brother. It's now a long time ago. I did this after finishing school and did a bachelor's degree in social and cultural anthropology with focus on African studies, actually, civil law, and then went on to do my master's, also social and cultural anthropology and African studies. So I finished in 2023 and afterwards went on to work as an anti-discrimination office. I went on to work at Kinder- und Nothilfe, K&H. Actually, they used to have a project in Gudlur also. I got to know that when I started working there. So Kinder- und Nothilfe, that's company, they are an NGO amassing funds and donations here in Germany to support local partners in many different countries around the world to have child rights projects. So like the right to education or right to be safe from human trafficking or child labor or something like that. So there would be like local organizations, local NGOs, and they would be supported by donations from Germany so that they could do their work with focus. So my contract ended and they didn't have the funds to keep me on. I've also had multiple mini jobs during my studies, during my school time. And now reevaluating what is important for me as an employee. What am I looking for? Like working conditions, of course, work-life balance, the ability to connect family life with my work, to have a salary that could sustain me, but also to have like a job that I enjoy doing where I can also utilize my skills and what I'm good at and bring that to the table. And that's not as easy as you would think.
Okay, I'm Robert. I finished now my master's this year, I hope, in social work. And in social work, I have the most work experience. So some years in, it's called open or mobile children and youth work. It's more or less like a one-all, so but without frisbee. So we try to reach young children and teenagers to make some projects and whatever they want. And some short work in a jail, some work in, how's it called? So it's not an open setting, it's an closed, and so it's in building, and the children or the young people are living there because they have too much problems with their families, or maybe the parents are not able to care about them. And now I only work in research programs. And my first paid job was to bring newspapers to people with 13. Yeah, that was nice.
To dive into the topic of work, let's look back. For many Adivasi communities, such as the Mula Kurumba and Gudlur, work was traditionally tied to the forest, hunting, gathering, collective sustenance. Work wasn't a job, but part of living together. Today, much of that isn't possible anymore. village communities are shifting from a subsistence-based communal life to a wage-based economy. Let's hear why and how from Amrita and Maya.
So in earlier part, hunting was like like a food. Go hunt and you have your meal that day. If you don't go hunting, you don't have it. But so it's not like a job, but it's like a community together for them to have their necessities. They go for hunting. And it's not like also for fun for others, as some people find this as fun, going hunting and all. It's not like that, but it's for them, their necessity. They go for hunting, they get their meals that day. It's like that. But now, if you see, that's all prohibited. You can't do that nowadays in forest. So we have to find an alternative thing that's like going for job to make our daily meals, to meet our food, clothings, our necessity.
Yes, I think the settings are different, but the things remains the same. For what we are working remains the same. Let it be hunting culture or right now I'm working in a city. So in a tribal setting, historically, I go for hunting. Yes, it is my work because I need to fill my stomach. At the end, I need to have something. Even now, I'm working because I need to fill my stomach as well and I have some other needs. So I will be happy to go back to that setting where there is nothing like this and just hunt, eat, survive. I will be really happy to do that as well. But now the setting has completely changed. But I feel both are same. You work towards something and that hasn't changed over the period. The purpose for working or why we earn money still remains the same. In an historic setting, you don't have much needs at that time. It is just like you need to somehow manage your day-to-day life. I think the only thing at that time was maybe have food, eat something, have food. So that would be the only thing. But right now, your demands are increasing. You need good clothes, you need better food, better living conditions, a good house. A lot of things are coming.
One of the biggest drivers of change is education. Where earlier opportunities were rooted in village life, today many young Adivasi must navigate schools, universities, and formal qualifications. Some, like Maya, study in big cities and work in NGOs. Amrita now combines formal education with creative local work, designing furniture and architecture out of material from the forest. Her enterprise, the Real Elephant Collective, works with Lanterna, an immersive plant in the region, and builds on local challenges, social and environmental needs. At the same time, many people earn their livelihoods through skills outside the formal sector: craftsmanship, transport, design, community initiatives, or digital work. Our generation blends traditional knowledge with modern forms of creativity and professionalism.
One thing is the education. If people who are doing education go in a city or in a job and things, in tribal past, it's really hard to bring them out to the place to make them work, come outside from the village. But now it's not like that. Everyone are looking for a job because money is very important in life right now. Because in earlier time, it's not like don't go for school. You have your field. You can get things from your field or forest. It's not like that. You have to make your children learn. If you want vegetables, you have to go to shop. It's not like you can go to forest and take nowadays.
Now, if you want to do anything, education is very important. Without that, I think if you want to step into a job, maybe IT or a doctor, engineer, for something like that, you need education right now to fit into those places. But otherwise, like as Amrita mentioned, see, if you're creative enough or if you can do something on your own, then that is also that. In that case, I think the tribal youth right now are evolving as well. I can say there are many talented people. They are not, I mean, even if they're educated, they're, I don't know, coping up to the current technology or whatever it is. They have found out their way to earn money. For example, we have Urmala, their truck. So they all are working with their skills. Maybe some might be educated, some they are not educated, but they're living with their skills. And there are many people who are educated and they have found their way there. So now I think, yes, they are coming out. There is a lot of opportunity, but even our tribal community youths are becoming more creative and talented. and they're figuring out their own ways for survival and earning money and live happily. So that is something which is like really good.
We found that one of the sharpest contrasts in conversation is life between Gudalur, a small, tightly interconnected place, and urban centers like Bangalore. In Gudalur, colleagues are often neighbors, relatives, childhood friends. Work is woven into social life, support is almost automatic. In the city, professional life is more detached. People focus on tasks, deadlines, efficiency. Personal stories stay outside the office doors. You will hear Amrita now telling us about working conditions in her village surrounding, and then Maya describing urban life in her perspective.
I have worked in cities during my internships. So there, comparing like there it's like go to office, finish your work. We have small celebrations together and then we don't see them. I mean, we don't know what is happening after that in their life, or they don't know like what is happening in our life. But here, when we do, we are more like a family. We know everything, what everyone is going through. One thing is that we all grew up here, like in Gudalur. Gudalur is a small town, so everyone know everyone from the childhood. So it's more like connecting as a family. And then moving away from them is also very hard all of a sudden. So yeah, it's more than just like going there for a work. Even sitting at home is very boring. We like tend to like, let's go to work. It could have been nice to go to work and all. So being in that space is very enjoyable. Yes, there are like difficulties. We have to finish our tasks. So it's not like a single person you go, it's on you. But we can actually share, this is the issue, this I have to handle this. How can I do it? And then people come up, okay, you do this. You should make this work. It's not that I have learned to do everything. So people actually come up to help and do things. Like I help them and they help me. It's nice here. As part of Gudalur, it's more like different communities works together. So even the languages are different in different communities. So people still they understand like, okay, she's trying to say this. They actually, it's not only the language, it's more about like understanding people.
So, I mean, I don't find much difference in working in a city and a small village when I think about work. But I think each place teaches you something unique, I can say. Maybe about like unique in terms of teamwork. In a city, first of all, nobody here cares about your personal life. Whatever you do, that doesn't matter for us. For us, you come to work, you have an 8 hours job, finish your tasks and go. And sometimes it is very hard that they don't even ask you sometimes, how do you feel today? Are you okay? It is only about professional things, and personal things are not at all there in the picture when it comes to uh, your I mean cities, urban setting. And other thing is, for me, I'm far from family. I don't have my family or anybody here. Yes, I have few friends, but they are also occupied with their own life and work. So you need the people who work with you to be like little caring, maybe giving that emotional support you want, and everything that is there in some organization. But I think it is also lacking. I think now it is changing. Initially nobody cares about your mental health or anything, but now I think slowly organizations are coming up with activities and things. They care about your mental health and everything. Good thing about working in a city, you get to meet a lot of people from a lot of background as well, so you learn a lot of things. And living in a city, you are all alone, getting like you go to office alone, you have to do things alone, so I think you're learning a lot of things as well. I think it's a different exposure altogether. Here access to a lot of things is also like very quick. If you are introduced to a different tool, yes, tomorrow you'll get it. So everything is like, I think, quick access is also like really quick here compared to a small town setting.
Maya, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I'm really curious. Why did you move to Bangalore? Why did you prefer to stay in the city?
Yeah, so I was in the hospital quarters because my mom
yeah.
works in the hospital,
Mhm.
and like my father was teaching at Vidyodaya thing. So I got an opportunity to study in Bangalore. So one thing was 12 till my 12th standard I was in Gudalur. So I know how a small village, and I think it is there with everybody. Once you're into something, you always want to see what is there. So for me also that curiosity was always there. Everybody talks about Bangalore and these bigger cities and everything. So that curiosity was there with me. So I decided, and when I got an opportunity to study in Bangalore, I just took it. But then once I started studying here and got adjusted to the culture, I just wanted to work for a couple of years to see how things here are, because everything is like magnificent here, if I want to say, like huge. People are fast paced and everything is happening in a very fast paced thing. So just wanted to see how things are here. So that is how I ended up in Bangalore. And yes, money was also a thing, like better opportunity and better rewards or money. So that was my initial thing of coming to Bangalore. But I think after all this conversation, you might be knowing like I'm actually struggling in Bangalore right now.
A recurring theme is mental health. Many people speak about stress, long working hours, and the pressure to perform, whether in NGOs, office jobs, or precarious labor. In village settings, strong social networks provide emotional safety. In cities, those networks must be built, often slowly. Interestingly, debates around work and mental health in Germany echo many of these concerns. How much work is too much? What makes work healthy or unhealthy? And how do you balance personal life, family, and wage labor? Across continents, the challenges of meaningful work feel surprisingly similar. Additionally, economic insecurity shapes many work experiences, in India and Germany alike. Many first jobs come through part-time or low-wage work, mini jobs, babysitting, gastronomy, day labor like tea plucking. Suitable job positions are not easy to find. In Germany, unemployment is supported through a welfare benefit called Bürgergeld. How is that in India?
So there's something similar in India as well. We call it as the Provident Fund. So part of your salary PF. So it goes into this. And if you're unemployed for more than 6 months, then you can use that amount. So there's something like that.
And finally, we will hear Maya speaking about developments of technology.
I think it's going to be really difficult because at least now I feel like we are in that transitioning period. AI has just come in and you still have that, you still need human, I mean, people to work and to bring that human insights, because AI is like, yes, it does um, make your work really, really easy, and it is a threat for, I mean, for everybody's work. But I think right now, at least for next 10 years, we are in the transitioning period. We will have some kind of job, but after that I think it's going to be extremely difficult, and even I don't know how I'm going to cope up with it, because even if I try to upskill, I don't know how much the technology is going to take it over. So it is still a question, and still I'm contemplating on that. I have no answer to that.
Sure.
I think, of course, AI is scary, and I think, we need to just understand the fact that it won't go away. I think that is like important, because once this technology is out there, we cannot put it back in the box. And then, of course, it is a tool, and I think we should use it as a tool. Like, the saying with the hammer or the sword is not the evil one, but the one wielding it. That's the same, I think, with technology and with AI. So what you in like the kind of knowledge like we feed to AI is the one that it's using, because actually it's not intelligent as such, but it's just knowledgeable, because you feed it the knowledge. And so we have to, I think, there needs to be like more regulation. I think at the moment, when in 200 years people will look back at us now and they will be like, oh, this is like the Wild West. Like there are no rules, there are no regulations, what did they do? Like they just flooded the internet with so much crap, and like how how did they do that? So I hope we come up with like solutions like that. And then there was one story that gave me a little bit of hope, because Rolling Stone, the magazine, they had a lawsuit against AI using their articles, which they had produced, with labor, with time, with resources, both human and, of course, otherwise. Then some scientists, they came up with a possibility to hinder AI from going to websites and just like stealing knowledge that was produced by humans. That they had like a program that redirects the AI to another website that is just filled with waste, with online waste. So the AI will continue to go through that, think this is the real website, and won't steal, the real article. And so because the program can really fast, it's really fast in seeing if there's a human who is accessing the website or if it's a computer, because we work very different. And I think that was such an interesting solution, which really actually meant that now at the moment AI is actually getting dumber again, because a lot of these programs are running, and the AI is fed a lot of waste. So actually now at the moment it's intelligence is declining again. And I thought that's such a creative solution. And so it makes me hopeful that we humans will continue to come up with ways to also use this and utilize this as a tool, but also continue to be important as humans, for certain things. I think, of course, AI is scary, and I think we need to just understand the fact that it won't go away. I think that is important, because once this technology is out there, we cannot put it back in the box. And then, of course, it is a tool, and I think we should use it as a tool. The saying with the hammer or the sword is not the evil one, but the one wielding it. That's the same, I think, with technology and with AI. So what you in the kind of knowledge we feed to AI is the one that it's using, because actually it's not intelligent as such, but it's just knowledgeable, because you feed it the knowledge. And so we have to, I think, there needs to be more regulation. I think at the moment, when in 200 years people will look back at us now and they will be like, oh, this is like the Wild West. There are no rules, there are no regulations. What did they do? They just flooded the internet with so much crap, and how did they do that? So I hope we come up with solutions like that. And then there was one story that gave me a little bit of hope, because Rolling Stone, the magazine, they had a lawsuit against AI using their articles, which they had produced, with labor, with time, with resources, both human and, of course, otherwise. Then some scientists, they came up with a possibility to hinder AI from going to websites and just stealing knowledge that was produced by humans. That they had a program that redirects the AI to another website that is just filled with waste, with online waste. So the AI will continue to go through that, think this is the real website, and won't steal, the real article. And so because the program can really fast, it's really fast in seeing if there's a human who is accessing the website or if it's a computer, because we work very different. And I think that was such an interesting solution, like which really actually meant that now at the moment AI is actually getting dumber again, because a lot of these programs are running, and the AI has fed a lot of waste. So actually now at the moment its intelligence is declining again. And I thought that's such a creative solution, and so it makes me hopeful that like we humans will continue to come up with ways to like also use this and utilize this as a tool, but also continue to like be important as humans, like for certain things.
Yeah.
As we wrap our episode, we have a clear impression. Despite the challenges, young people want meaningful work. We want security, but also freedom. We want to stay connected to our communities while exploring new opportunities. It's not always easy, but we are much more flexible than earlier generations. In our next episode, we want to follow up on questions of labor and workers' rights.
നീലി പെണ്ണെ നീയും ഇങ്ങോട്ടാ അക്കര വയലിൽ കൊയ്യാൻ പോണു തമ്പുരാനെ നീലി പെണ്ണെ നീയും ഇങ്ങോട്ടാ അക്കര വയലിൽ കൊയ്യാൻ പോണു തമ്പുരാനെ കപട്ട് മൂക്കി പുഞ്ചെ പാടാൻ കൊയ്യാൻ പോന്നേ കമ്പരഞ്ച് കയ്യുനന്താ അഞ്ചു പണം താലി കെട്ടി നെഞ്ചു നന്ദാ കപട്ട് മൂക്കി പുഞ്ചെ പാടാൻ കൊയ്യാൻ പോന്നേ കമ്പരഞ്ച് കയ്യുനന്താ അഞ്ചു പണം താലി കെട്ടി നെഞ്ചു നന്ദാ ഒന്നാം കുന്നുമേ ഒന്നാം കുന്നുമേ തെങ്ങ് നട്ട് ഒന്നര കുന്നുമേ വായ നട്ട് ഒന്നാം കുന്നുമേ ഒന്നാം കുന്നുമേ തെങ്ങ് നട്ട് ഒന്നര കുന്നുമേ വായ നട്ട് കാലിലോളം പൊന്നോളം കാണാൻ ചെല്ലുമ്പോ തെങ്ങോല കാലിലോളം പൊന്നോളം കാണാൻ ചെല്ലുമ്പോ തെങ്ങോല ഉവ്വ മല്ലികേ ഉവ്വ താര മല്ലികേ 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 ഉവ്വ മല്ലികേ ഉവ്വ താര മല്ലികേ.
That was the Afternoon Tea Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Do you have feedback for us? We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment or send us a message. You can find us online or on Instagram. And if you'd like to support our work, get involved, or meet the people behind the project, we would be happy to connect with you.